Kadosh, Boker Or, Masechet Bava Kamma Daf 23A1. We're just going to start on 22b on the bottom. 22b, it says, Amar Rava. We're talking about a machloket between Rabbi Yochanan and Resh Lakish on nezek of fire. Okay, so we're going to be learning about the nezek of fire. And when we're learning about the nezek of esh, we're going to come and we're going to speak about, right, the machloket between Rabbi Yochanan and Resh Lakish. Amar Rava. Rava comes and he says, Kra umatznita misayle Rabbi Yochanan. From the pasuk, which is a kra, and a matznita braita, there's going to be a proof to Rabbi Yochanan that the chiyuv on niske esh is because the esh is like the chetz, is like the chetzio shel adam. It's like the arrow of a human being. Kra, what's a pasuk? It says in the pasuk, ki tetze esh umatzeh kotzim nechal gadol yishua kama, right? O asadeh shalem shalom v'ito b'ira. Ki tetze esh, it's mashma tetze me'atzma. Meaning the esh is coming out. He made the fire in his house, and all of a sudden it came out. And it says, Yishalem mav'ir et be'ara, which means mav'ir et be'ara, which means it's like keilu that he was madlik et zeh b'yadayim shelo. So therefore, even though it came on its own, you did a little tiny thing for your, you wanted to warm up some eggs. And then afterwards it went wild. You're still going to be chayav. Shema mina isho mishum chitzo, which means that the ish is because of like your arrows, meaning your fire is as if that you took an arrow and you shot it at someone. Matznita, what is the braita? Titania, as we learned in a braita. Patacha katuv, kav gimel amud aleph, right? Patacha katuv, the pasuk started, right? Beniske mamono. It started with the chiyuvim of, right, mamon, right? When it says ki tetze esh, v'siyem beniske gufo, but then it finished off with amavid et be'era. Why did it do that? Why does it start with niske mamon, which is basically something which is done, which is something which is shayach to you, and not the adam atzmo, and then it speaks about that amavid et be'era. So he comes and he says like this. He says, right, lomar lecha, to teach you. He says, isho mishum chitzav, that the esh is because of your chetz. So Amar Rava comes and he says, Kasha le Abaye, we had a question on Abaye, le mandamar isho mishum chitzav. Now, if you're going to tell me now, according to the mandamar that says esh is like throwing a chetz, meaning your fire is like you're shooting an arrow. So he says, Tamun be'esh tepatar rachman. So what's the case of Tamun? You remember that we said by esh, you're patur by Tamun. What is Tamun? You remember I said that you have a doghouse, and all of a sudden the fire came in and burned down the doghouse. Now nobody knew that you didn't even have a dog. So why do you have the doghouse? You had a safe hidden on the roof of the doghouse, and you had a lot of money there. But it's tamun, it's hidden. Nobody knows about it. The fire comes, destroys the doghouse. You come, you give me a bill, and you're asking me for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oh, a doghouse, what was a doghouse? Made out of gold. He says, no, but I had a secret safe there. Tamun. Tamun patur be'esh. I'm patur. How much is the value of the doghouse? $500. $500. What happened? I don't care. Patur. See, he comes and he says, Tamun be'esh patar rachman. What's the case? So you're going to tell me now that he wants to answer that, for example, the fire came in the chatzer in itself. Then all of a sudden, the chatzer, it fell the gader, but not because of the fire. And then it went and it damaged in another person's field. Tehatam is over there, it finished the chetz, which means if right now a person comes and makes a fire here, the wall broke not because of the fire, because if the wall broke because of the fire, then obviously it's a continuation of the fire. The wall broke not because of the fire. And then all of a sudden it comes to the next field. So that's a secondary nezek. That secondary nezek, you should be patur on that. Why? Because it already finished your arrow. Your arrow finished. You shot the arrow, which is in this field, and it should have finished. The fact that the fence broke was not your problem, was something else. So says the Gemara, if so, linyan galui nami kalu lechitzav. So to do with galui, also, meaning, why are we talking about tamun, something hidden? Even something which is revealed, you should already be patur, because it already finished your chetz. But rather, because of the one that holds, because of your chetz, meaning your fire is like your chetz, he also holds that your fire is like your money, which means Rabbi Yochanan is modeh that your fire is like your money. But he added, but it's also your arrow. It's not only your money, like Resh Lakish, it's also your arrow. So the fire is your money, and the fire is your arrow as well. That's what according to Shtat Rabbi Yochanan. Ulgon, for example, shayalo legodra velo gadra, that after the gader fell, you should have picked it up, and you didn't do it. Tehatam shorohu velo tafach bepe. There, the fire is like your shor that you didn't lock it up, and then it goes to dunezek. If you have a shor, and now you have a gate, the gate falls, and you don't pick it up, and now the shor goes out and damages, obviously you're going to be chayav. Why? Why didn't you fix it? Right? You should have fixed it. Okay? So ask the Gemara, v'chi me'achar demand eat le mishum chitzav. So one second, if Rav Yochanan holds not only chitzav, also mamono, which means your fire is also your money and also your arrows, what's the difference between Rav Yochanan and Shakish? He says, Ika benau, the difference between them is lechayvo be'arba dvarim. The Bala Esh, is he going to be chayav on the 4 different things or not? Right? For example, like Adama Chovel or not? If the fire is not going to be mechayav to Bala only like mamono, so you're not going to be chayav and everything else. You're only going to be chayav nezek. But if you're going to say you're going to be chayav, right, of the sharta shunei chabala, the mamon, right, amazik et adam. Okay, the 2 dogs. You understood? That means like one more time. If right now your shore damages somebody, your shore is your money or your arrow? Your money. If your money damages something, do you have to pay the 5 different damages? Nezek, tsar, ripui, boshet, shevet, unemployment, doctor's bills, damages, embarrassment. Do you have to pay all those things? Chamesh nezekim? Adam la'adam ken, but mamon shel adam la'adam lo. Meaning your shore damages somebody? No. If you only hold that your fire is mamon, so on the fire you'll never pay the 5 damages. You only pay nezek. But if you hold that your fire is your chetz, so that's kilu shata oseh et damaging, so then you're going to be obligated to pay the 5 damages as well. Nekudotayim, shte nekudot, 2 dots. Okay? Says the Gemara, ala charara meshalem, nezek shalem, vala gadish meshalem chatzi nezek. We said, you remember we said that the kelev, that he comes and he takes the charara. The charara was like the biscuit. And he comes and he puts it on the gadish, and he puts it, so on the charara, you're going to pay nezek shalem, and the gadish, you're going to pay chatzi nezek. Man chayav, who's going to be chayav? Bala kelev, obviously. The owner of the kelev. So ask the Gemara, why don't you also obligate the bala gachelet? Meaning, the dog came and he took the gachelet. Right? Remember, there were 2 different cases. First, the dog came and he took the biscuit, and then he put it on the gadish, on the grain. And then the dog came and he took the gachelet, the coals, and he put it on the gadish. Says the Gemara, why are you only obligating the dog? What the owner of the dog? What about the owner of the gachelet, the owner of the coals? Why don't you obligate him? Answers the Gemara, Shishimer gachalto. What are you talking about? My coals were in a watch place. Right? I was shomer al zeh. So ask the Gemara, if your coals are in a good place, how did the dog get them? How did the dog get the coals in order to bring them into damage? Answers the Gemara, the kelev went and he dug underneath, and he was able to get inside the backyard, and that's where he took the coals. And that's how he took it. So you can't obligate the owners of the coal. The owners of the coal did everything fine. So Amar of Mari Bireder of Kahana. So to merit, you learn from here, Stam Dlatot Chaturot Etzel Kelev. Do you know that Stam Delet, right, is not considered Meshuneh? That means it's not considered different. The Kelev is going to come and start digging underneath. It's normal, right? And therefore you're going to come and you're going to obligate the Bala Kelev on such a thing. Ta'achla Hecha. Okay, fine. Where did the Kelev come? And where did the kelev come, and where did he eat the charara? Right? If you're going to tell me that he did it stam in a gadish, which is shayach to a person, not to the bala charara, you need biste acher. It has to be b'reshut nizak. It can't be in reshut rabim. Ubier biste acher in another person's field, not in the reshut rabim. You don't have it. So you ate it in the same place of the bala charara, meaning the bala charara and the bala gadish is the same owner. Okay, so tifshot. So therefore, we want to come and bring a proof. The fi para, the mouth of a para, which is eating. Okay, kav gimel mubet kachatzar nizak is considered like the chatzar of the nizak, and therefore it's considered biste acher. Diika chatzera mazik tami. But if you're going to tell me now that it's considered chatzera mazik, Elmaleh, why don't you just say my bay riftecha bepuma de kalbai? What is your bread doing in the mouth of my dog? which means you couldn't be mechayev, right? You couldn't come and you couldn't be mechayev the bala kelev in the nezek, since the charara is going into the reshut, and there that's what's going to the happening the nezek. So if you can be chayav, tibay lehu, right? Because we asked the question 23b kav gimel ubet tibay lehu, because we asked the question pi farah, the mouth of a para, which is mazik in the reshut anizak. Is that considered like the reshut of the nizak tami, or like chatzera mazik tami? Meaning, do we say that it's considered the achila is shen bishut anizak, or maybe it's the pi para and reshut bala para, and therefore it's not considered bishut anizak? Okay, so one more time, we're talking about the pi para. We have a para that's coming and damaging. Okay, now it's going to damage in somebody's property. Do you say that it's considered chatzera nizak, and therefore it is right bisteacher? Or you consider that the pi para is considered chatzera mazik, right? Why? Because he's the reshut of the bala para, so therefore it's mazik. So who's right? The mouth. What mouth is that? Is that considered the mazik's mouth because it belongs to the mazik, or you're in the nizak's property, so it's nizak? Via Marta. Now, if you're going to tell me now, chatzera mazik dami shen dichiyav rachman. So what's the case of shen then? Shen b'reshut nizak. What's the case? If you're going to tell me that he's eating, and his mouth is considered shutar mazik, so how do you find shen then? You're never going to have shen. Shen, because he's going into another person's property, he's eating, his mouth is a reshut of the mazik. So then you're never going to be chayav. There's no such thing as shen. So answers the Gemara, Amar of Mari bereder of Kahana, kegon shenachtechacha b'kotel lanatano. He was scratching his back for hana, v'timfa perot lanata, or he went, that's what it is, the shen, the shutar nizak. So Matki Flamar Zutra asks, he says you have to completely destroy it, right? That means you have to, when you come, it's not just you're dirtying something. You have to destroy it. Tichle, you have to yivaer, biur chametz. You have to destroy the chametz. You have to destroy. So what's going on here, right? So Ravina comes and he says the shaf tzalme. He came and he went and he made different surot of the cotton. And Ravashi comes and he says the pasue. That he went and he destroyed certain things and he put it inside of a teat that you can't get it anymore. So he came and you got these perot and you put them inside of a clay that you can't even take it out, and therefore you completely destroyed it. Okay? Tashema. Right? We come and we learn in a Mishnah. Shisabo et hakelev or shisabo et nachash. What happens right now if the kelev came and he was the one that caused it? Which means you came and you caused the kelev to come bite someone, or you caused the nachash to come and to bite someone, you're going to be patur. Man patur. Who's going to be patur? Meshaseh patur. Are you going to be the one that meshaseh? Right? Why? It was only a grama. You only caused it. You didn't do anything. V'chayav bala kelev, and the bala kelev is going to be chayav. What's going on? V'ya Marta, if you're going to tell me now, right? Kachatzera mazik dami, that it's like the chatzera mazik. Elmaleh, he could just say, "What is your hand doing in the mouth of my dog?" No, that sounds like a good one, no? My yadayim shelcha oseh b'peh shel hakelev sheli. Right? It sounds good. So answers the Gemara, Eima paturaf mishaseh. He says that he's going to be patur even the mishaseh. Right? That's what that means. Not only bala kelev is patur, also the mishaseh is going to be patur. Or if you want, you can answer. Yeah. Right? The avke lenive v'sarte. Hotzia kelev et nivo, which means he took out his teeth, which are sticking out, and then he scratched somebody. Right? Which means that since he took it outside, it's not anymore inside the mouth anymore. It's like outside. It's like the reshut nizak. So, okay? Fine. Tashima, another case. Hishich bo et nachash. What happens right now if he came and he was going to cause the nachash, and he put the nachash right beside the hand of a person, and then the nachash comes and he bites him. Right? Until basically what happened is that the person puts his hands inside, the nachash bites him, and then he dies. Rabbi Yehuda mechayev chachamim potrim. Ve'amar v'chaber Yaakov, when you're going to say according to Rabbi Yehuda, eres nachash ben shinav omen, but 1 second. But the poison of the nachash is in between its teeth. So therefore, the second that he puts he bites on him, he's going to kill him, right? Therefore, makish v'saif. Therefore, in such a case, if you're going to come and you're going to be mashich in a mitat saif like a rotzeach, right? Which means it's like ki'ilu that the teeth of the nachash is mamash retzicha. So that's ki'ilu that it's not grama, meaning this is mamash like you're doing everything. You understand? So he comes and he says the nachash is going to be patur. So he says the divrei chachamim, according to the chachamim. He comes and he says, Eres Nachash me'atzmo makish. The Eres Nachash is coming and he's actually going to take them from here. And therefore, he comes and he says, Nachash beskila. The nachash is going to be chayav like skila. But makish is going to be patur. Marta, now if you're going to tell me now, pi para ke chatzel mazik tami, that the mouth of a para is going to be like the chatzel of the mazik. Why don't you just say, what's your hands doing, right, in the mouth of my snake? Like what he said before, what's your hands doing in the mouth of my snake? So we're not talking about death. You're right. Death is a completely different halacha. Don't compare mita with nezakim. Right? Don't because they're behemet, it's going to be completely different. Okay? Fine. So says the Gemara, umena teimra. How do we know the ptur? Right? How do we know this? The Tanya was learned in a braita. Hanichnas lechatzer balabait shelo b'rshut. If you go into the chatzer balabait without permission, again, you go into the reshut of the chatzer shelo b'rshut. Ungacho shoro shel balabait vamet. And what happens is he comes and he's going to kill him. Meaning, you came, not you, somebody comes into their friend's property without permission. The guy's dog, the guy's shor comes, gores him, kills him. What happens? Ashor biskila. So you kill the shor. But the baalim are going to be patur from the kofir. Baalim paturim in a kofir, why? Elmaleh, because he could tell them, what are you doing my reshut? So shoronami lemale. So the same thing with the shor. He could tell him, what are you doing? My reshuti. It's a different halacha for mita. Mita is completely different. Okay? Fine. Hanau ize de bet tarbu. There were ezim of the mishpacha of tarbu. Tehava mafsedelei the Rav Yosef, that they were causing him to lose his property. Amaleh l'Abaye comes and he tells Abaye, zil Elmalehu lemarayu, go tell their owners litzinim, meaning go put them away. Why? Because if they're coming and these izim are coming, these goats are coming and causing damages, put them away, lock them up. Amaleh, he tells him, Amai, why? Right? Amai izil, lemailech. Right? This is going to help. Tiyazilna amni ligdor magder bare. If I'm going to tell him, I'm going to go, he's going to tell me, why don't I come and put a gader in his reshut in order to watch on them? Meaning, they're going to say, meaning, you have to protect yourself that you don't get damaged. Meaning, you have to build the fence and in order that you don't get damaged. Not that I have to build the fence that I don't have to damage you. You have to build the fence that you don't get damaged. The gadar. Now, if you do that, now, if you're going to tell me that's what you have to do, what's the case of Shen? How do you find Shen? In any case where an animal is going to eat, he could just say, listen, it's your fault. You didn't have a fence. Imagine my animal goes into your field, starts eating. You're going to tell me, pay up. It's your fault. You didn't put a fence. What's the case of Shen that you're going to be chayav? So says the he went under the gader. Or it fell in the nighttime, and then he ate. So Machriz of Yosef that the people that they go up from Babel to Eretz Yisrael, are the ones that are going down from Eretz Yisrael to Babel. Hani is the shuka. These izim of the shuk, right, which are going to do shechita, the mafsede, matrin b'marayu treutat. We're going to give them hatra 2 or 3 times. Itzai, if they listen, they listen. Ilan, if not, amrin ale, we're going to tell them tiva pa'amaschata v'kabel zuzach. Right? We're going to force them to do shechita immediately, even though it's not the Yom HaShuk. Meaning, we give them a warning 2 or 3 times. After that, boom, do shechita now. It's not Yom HaShuk. You're going to lose money. Kapara alecha. Yeah, it's on you. Says the Mishnah. We're just going to do the Mishnah. We're going to finish with the Mishnah. Ezu tam vezu muad. What is a short tam, short muad? Muad is kol sheyidu bo shosha yamim. If they came and they did 3 different days that they testified about it, the tam, that means it has to be 3 different days. It cannot be in the same day that he had a wild day and he started goring, right? And he gored 3 times. It has to be shosha yamim nifradim. The tam is mishiachzor bo shosha yamim, right? When it's 3 days that he stopped. Even a rebuda, these are rebuda. Rabbi Meir omen muad sheyidu bo shosha pamim. No, 3 times even in 1 day. The feeder Rabbi Meir afilu shosha pamim biyom echad. 3 times in 1 day, you're already muad. The tam. What's a tam? Children are playing around with it. And then it's not going to be nogyach. That's the case of a tam. Okay? A wonderful day, everyone.